What's up, YouTube? It's Josh coming at you. We got the pickups for February 2024. Stay tuned. So welcome back, you guys. So let's jump into this right away. Got a lot of stuff to show you guys. Let's show you this beer first that we got right here. We got the infamous Tiger Sauce. This is a double IPA. This comes to us from Pariah Brewing Company out of Baltimore, Maryland. Never been to this brewery before, and I've never had the beer. So I think this is one that my wife picked up for me. She knows randomly when she goes out to a liquor store, if she sees some different stuff that we can check out. A lot of times we do like the mix of sixes where you can pick out 6 different beers to try them out, and if you like them, then you can go back obviously and get another one. It smells really, really good. This one comes in at 8%, and as I said, Pariah Brewing Company is out of Baltimore, Maryland. Let's give it a taste, see what it tastes like. That's very good, very mellow. Has just enough of that bitter bite that you expect from a good IPA. Really nice creamy, foamy head on top of it. Really good. Might have to see where in Baltimore this place is located, Pariah, and go check them out, because this one I can definitely recommend. Great nose on it too. Okay, so the pickups, we got a lot of them here to get into. We had some decent luck at the thrift this past month in February, and we got a couple of retail things. One thing, we'll start with this first. This was something that I picked off of my works classified site. I've told you guys all about that many times on pickup videos before. People post things and, you know, buy, sell, whatever. I've bought and sold on there, but we got this really cool Majora's Mask, this Prima strategy guide. It's an awesome strategy guide. Even the back part with the where it's got the secret tips about the bosses, it hasn't even been completely opened up. It's just a little bit torn right there, but great condition all in all. Very little wear on it, you know, very little. There's some on the corners, but this is a game that I've never completed, and I really want to, so we're gonna go old school with this. Try to get this one in this year, and we have the strategy guide to do it as well. So stoked to pick that one up. I got that thing for $5, and you can't beat them for that price. I think new they're probably only like 15, but still, they don't make them anymore, right? So great grab there. We'll probably jump around a little bit here with the things. Let's go with what we got from GameStop for the month of February. So I went into GameStop to use my my $5 coupon for the month, and I ended up buying a little bit more than $5, but we got $5 off of it. But we got this really cool. I saw that they have been getting some re-releases. This is a re-release of the Amiibo for Banjo-Kazooie. You could tell it's a re-release because on the back they just say Amiibo instead of having the different pictures of what the Amiibo looks like and what the Amiibo does in the games. But really cool to get one. This is one that they had like 5 or 6 of different re-release Smash Brothers ones, and this is one that I wanted, so I definitely snatched it up. And then we got 2 Wii U games from in there as well that we did not have in the collection. I always look at what they have for retro, right? But they really don't typically, the ones that I go to, one near where I work and one near home, neither one of them have a lot of retro. I guess as far back as they go is Wii and PS3, Xbox 360. I haven't seen anything older than that in there, but we got a complete copy here of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I know that they re-released this on the Switch, this game, so it's probably a better way to play it here than on the Wii U, but I still pick up Wii U games as I see them. I'm not trying to go for a full set, but I've got probably about 70 or so of them already. So we got Tekken Tag Tournament as well, another complete copy. Good price on these. They weren't nothing. I think it was $10 for the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which I think that game only goes for like $10-12. And then this one though, I got a pretty good price on at $18 versus I think it's going for like $30 or so on price charting. So stoked to add those 2 to the collection. A couple other cool little things that I saw when I went into Walmart. These are another thing that I sort of collect, but I don't collect. I'm not going for like all of them. But the Toonie Terrors, we got the male alien from They Live. I just thought that was just too cool. Obey. So I had to snatch that one up. I actually stick them up on my wall up here a little bit. And then we got an even better one here when we got the Mistress of Darkness herself, Elvira. Right, huh? That's what I'm talking about. But very, very cool. I've only got like 6 or 7 of these, but I stick them on the wall up here above the desk. And like I said, I just pick up the ones that I want. I'm not really going for a whole set of them. I'm not sure how many there even would be in a set now. There's probably 30 or 40 of them out. All right, jump back over to, this was a gift from Valentine's Day from my wife, from my Valentine. We've got this really cool Lego piranha plant. So my son, as you can see, I let my son build it, but it's an excellent set. Very cool little Mario set, and this one will sit right here at the desk. Just too cool. Had to have it. There's a few other Lego sets, video game related, that I would like to get. I don't have the Bowser yet, and I'd like to get the Horizon Zero Dawn one. That's a cool little set too. That would be neat to get. Okay, so jumping back over to the thrift. So, got a question for you guys. I had a couple people last month in January's video. They said, "Hey, you know, show the hunt. Show me your process for how you come across this, because I just don't come across this stuff." And I don't mind doing that, and I'm going to try incorporating that a little bit more into these pickup videos, because you know, it makes it more entertaining for you guys. That's the whole point, right? Especially with these long pickup videos. But sometimes it's kind of awkward shoving your camera in the face of the people at the thrift stores when you're trying to help them out, or when they're trying to help you out getting games out of the cases and stuff like that. But we'll see. Do you guys prefer, when I do these pickup videos, do you want that hunting footage? I know a couple of you, like I said, asked, do the rest of you want that kind of stuff? Is that more entertaining to you? When I do these, do you like the way that I do them with splitting them up between retail, thrift, you know, online, whatever, however I split it up? Or would you rather me do it by like console, so you guys can be like, oh, I don't care about Atari, I only want to look at the Nintendo pickups, so you can go to that? Or how would you guys want to do it? So let me know in the comments, because that's what this is all about. You guys watch the videos, and I want to make them as entertaining and as useful for you guys as possible. I love watching pickup videos myself. For me personally, when I see them, it draws me to things that I may not have ever seen or may not have known was out there, and add them to my list. So we'll jump back over to the thrift real quick. I went into the closest Goodwill to home. I pass it every day, but I stopped kind of going to that thrift shop because they stopped selling the games. They stopped putting any games out on the shelves. So happened to just be in the area, and my wife and daughter and I stopped in there. They wanted to stop and look around, and I wasn't expecting to find anything, and I didn't find any video games. But as I was walking through, they pulled a rack of some like electronics and stuff out, and I happened to see this bad boy sitting on that little shelf, so I pulled it off. We got a Nintendo, an actual licensed Nintendo NES Mini Classic, and we got it for $12.50. So not a bad little grab right there. I have one of these already, but for that price, I couldn't leave it behind, and I don't typically see any video game stuff there anymore. So I grabbed it up, and I figured I'd find somebody that either wants to trade for it, or I'll sell it and get my 12 bucks back. But either which way, thought that was a cool grab. I took off work one day in February early. It was like a Friday. I got off kind of in the morning. So I was like, I'm gonna hit a couple places, a couple thrift shops and my local pawn shop and stuff like that before I go home, because I hadn't been in the pawn shop in a while. So I stopped at my local junk shop that I've found some stuff before. Didn't find anything new. Stopped at the pawn shop, chatted with the guy at the pawn shop. He's pretty cool. We talked video games. He's a gamer. He's not really a collector, but he's a gamer himself. And he didn't have anything in there either. But right up the road from his pawn shop, there's this little tiny thrift store. It's kind of like a mixed bag store. You go in, it's got this huge bakery. They make some killer good desserts and stuff in there for real. But then they have this like secondhand shop that's like off to the side of it, and they have all kinds of different stuff in it. And they do have occasionally some video games or something like that. I picked a little tiny CRT up. I think I paid 10 bucks for it. I couldn't leave it behind for 10 bucks. But I'll throw a picture up here because I don't have it to show you, but it's not very big. It was only, you know, a little tiny thing, but it worked out great. You can hook a system or two up to it and have some fun with it. And I picked up a DVD and a video game as well. So their DVDs and video games are $1, so you can't go wrong with that. So I got the DuckTales, Disney's DuckTales discs volume 1. So I'm assuming that there's more. This isn't a complete series, but very cool. Loved this show as a kid. And then I picked this game up, even though I just picked this one up last month under Gamer Amer's recommendation. I think I paid 10 bucks for it at the game store when I bought it. It's an awesome game, but I couldn't leave it behind for $1. I'm like, all right, I'll get it. Somebody will want this thing either to trade, or I'll get my 10 bucks back out of it somehow. I don't know, maybe through eBay or something if I decide I want to do that. But I couldn't leave it behind for $1, like, right? I mean, you guys wouldn't have left it behind for $1, would you? So we go into my favorite thrift shop. It's probably the second closest one to home, but it's the one I call it like my honey hole thrift shop, because I typically find some good stuff there. And I find it the key, if you want to know part of my method for thrifting and finding decent stuff at the thrifts, the key to it is going all the time. Like, you got to go every day, sometimes twice a day, various times of the day. There's no rhyme or reason as to the time that they throw out the good stuff. A lot of times the morning may be the very best because they restock before they open the store up. But I've also been in there in the afternoon when they pull new stock out and you're like, there it is, there's something good. Hell, just a couple of weeks back when I was in, we were out running around, I was running around with Gamer Aimer, and we stopped into one thrift shop and we went and looked through the games and everything, and then we were leaving to check out and I happened to see him bringing a rack of media out, and I went over and found a GameCube game on the stack there. So there's no rhyme or reason to the timing. It's just going and being in there as frequently as you can. That was easier for me before I changed jobs and it changed my schedule around a little bit, but still find some decent stuff from time to time. So we stopped on a Friday, my wife and my daughter, we go out and we go, let's go up to the thrift shop. We're gonna, you know, make a round, maybe hit a brewery or something on a Friday afternoon. And we go up there and we go to my honey hole. And usually Friday's their dead day, because Friday's the day that they don't do any discount tags. We go up and the parking lot is nuts to butts. It's just jam-packed with cars. Like, man, something's got to be going on here. So we go in and they were doing it was like 2 days after Valentine's Day. They were doing their Valentine's Day tag sale, which meant everything in the whole store, didn't matter what color the tag was, were all half off. So the place was insane. Honestly, I wasn't even going to get anything. I looked at the game section and I was like, there's nothing here. I don't know if I want to wait in line for a couple of other little tiny things that I found. But my wife was like, well, I'm getting some, so we're waiting in line anyway. So I ended up grabbing a couple things. And as we went up through the line, as we got almost to the thing, they had moved all their games out of the case. Well, almost all, and there was still a couple junky ones for some reason. They moved everything up to the line, next to the line. I'm like, holy crap, I didn't see all this stuff here. So I got some really great deals on a couple of things. Let me show you the stuff that's non-video game related. We got the Shagwire right here. Austin Powers, baby. I couldn't leave that little thing behind. It's still sealed. It's got the old Union Jack Jaguar of his from back in the day. Back in like 1999, I think is when this is labeled as. So I just had to grab it. Groovy, baby, groovy. And then this thing right here, I think I took the tag off of it, but I think it was $3. I ended up getting it for $1.50. This is a cassette tape holder. It has the Radio Shack logo on it. These things are perfect if you have loose Genesis cartridges, or if you're one of those people that does the things with your loose GBAs where you use the cassette tapes. Could be a good for that too. But I just think that it's a great thing. It's the second one I've found of these, and I could put loose Genesis cartridges in it. It's got a lid, keeps the dust off of them and everything, and it's just a good way to store them. So I couldn't leave that behind. Let's get to the games though that we got. Okay, well, there was one other thing too we did. We did find this. My wife actually found it, and she's like, hey, we're gonna grab this up. Now this is a Hobby Lobby sign. If you guys are familiar with aren't familiar with Hobby Lobby, it is a hobby store, right? Obviously by the name. But they have a ton of like game room decor in there. Now, so this isn't vintage or anything, but it's just a cool little Pac-Man sign. And it even said Hobby Lobby on the back of it right here. But I think this thing was with the half off tag like $5. So I was like, that's cool. It's framed and everything. I'll put that somewhere here in the game room. We'll find a spot for it. Some cool games though. I got a massive stack of Atari games here. I got a couple of other games as well. So we'll go with the other games first since it's a lot of Atari games. We've got Damnation on the PlayStation 3. Any of you guys watch the channel, you know I love the PlayStation 3. It's kind of my preferred system of that generation. It was the one that I bought first, one that I spent the most time with. Never played Damnation though. I think I have read a review on this, and I don't think it was a glowing review, but still, like I said, for $3, because they're all $5.99. That's what they've been labeling all their games at over the past year now. So for $5.99, half price, $3. We got an Xbox One game. Had a lot of people on my Discord group when I mentioned that I picked this one up, Trackmania Turbo, that said that this is actually a really fun game as well. So stoked. Haven't had time to even play it, to check it out yet though. And then we got an Xbox, only on Xbox 360, Ninja Gaiden 2, another one that was complete. So whenever I see the ones that are only on, or if it's something that just kind of intrigues me for the 360, I still pick those up as well. Now the Atari games was a lot of them here. And when I saw them, I was like, I didn't really have time to dig through and say, I only want this, I only want that. But I went ahead and just grabbed all of them at that price. I was like, I don't think I can go wrong with it. Here's a couple of them that I had that I already had duplicates. We got Space War. We got Classic and Adventure. Awesome game. We've got Gorf, which is a multi-game cart. This is another one that I had as well already. And Video Pinball. So 4 of these we had already. So it was kind of like, well, really didn't need those, but for a good price. Here we have, I think this is an Intellivision game actually. It's baseball. I'm just basing that upon the label that's on it with the white label, but it is shaped like the M Corp games or Mattel games that came on it, and we got 3 of them as well. We've got Dark Cavern, we've got Tron Deadly Discs, and we've got International Soccer. So definitely interesting. None of these are bangers. Okay, there was one game out of all of these games that it had a little bit of value that I was surprised about, but I didn't buy them based upon thinking that anything was going to be worth anything. I had like maybe a dozen Atari games in my collection. Don't really collect hard for it, but at $3 a piece, I didn't think it was a bad deal. Some of these games are probably only worth $3 though. So anytime I can find Atari games in between $1 and $3, probably gonna pick them up if I need them. So Towering Inferno, that's a good one right there. A couple of these iMagic games we got Firefighter. I don't think I've ever played that one, so don't know what to expect from that one. A good one with Moonsweeper. And then Atlantis. I know I had Atlantis when I was a kid. I had to have that one for sure. I remember that one, and I remember Demon Attack from the iMagics for sure. I think another one's called Phoenix, maybe? Okay, so some more Atari games, Atari labeled ones. We got football, we've got basketball. These are the text labels. Bowling, another text label. Video chess, another text label. And we've got a Classic and Defender. I thought I had this one already, but I didn't, so stoked to grab that one. We've got Brain Games. I mean, really, honestly, sometimes the Atari artwork is just the coolest part of the thing. Basic Programming. I don't think you could sell a game with a title like Basic Programming very well. We've got Dodge 'em, and then we've got Star Raiders, which is kind of useless to you without the keypad controller and the overlays that go along with it. We've got the regular label Bowling. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same game as the other. I haven't had time to play them all yet, but another really good one I remember from back when I was a kid that we had was Warlords. That's a good one. We've got a Telegames 112, and this one is Space Invaders. This is a text label Space Invaders, so very, very cool. I think I have the art label already for that game. A couple of Activision games here in tennis and in Chopper Command, so stoked to grab those. Now these Activision games are notorious for having bad labels on them after all these years. I think it was the glue that they used to glue them to the carts, but these aren't in terrible shape. Then we have a couple of these, they're Data Age games. We've got Bugs, and we've got Encounter at L5. These were ones that when I saw them, I was like, these might be a little bit of a rarer game, but they're not. They're just a few dollars a piece as well. But haven't had time to check them out, so I'm not sure. I'm thinking about getting a 2600 plus so that I could just pop these in and play them on the modern TV, because it's kind of a hassle to hook the Atari up and play it. But this one, not the greatest label, neither one of these are, but these were the two most valuable of the bunch. We've got Final Approach, which is an Apollo game. So the labels are kind of coming up a little bit on that one. And then this one was the most valuable one. This is like a $50 game, based off of price charting anyway. Mines of Minos. So never heard of it. It's an odd shaped cartridge because it's like an inch or so bigger, inch or so longer than the standard Atari carts are. So definitely different. If you guys know anything about them, throw them in any of these games. If you have fond memories of them, any nostalgia, anything you want to talk about with the games, throw it in the comments. Love to talk to you guys about it. So when we left there, we went to a Goodwill that's not far from that particular store. I don't get to that Goodwill very often because it's kind of on the opposite end of that township. And I don't really get over to that side of that township that often. So went in, checked things out, found one game, and I was surprised to find a game, a good one too, to be honest with it. We got Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Chaos Bleeds, a beautiful clean copy of it. And it's clean now because when I picked it up off the thing, it looked horrible. It looked like mud or something all over. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is on the outside of the case, but they didn't bother cleaning it up or anything. But when I got home, I wiped it off. It all came off perfectly clean. The disc and the manual inside were in great shape. So I wasn't really that worried about it, but I wasn't sure about the outside art, but man, it wiped off clean. And now I've got both Buffy games for the Xbox, so stoked about that. So a week after that, I stopped in there on a Friday. And like I said, remember that this one is Friday's a no tag day. So I got a little bit of footage. I'll clip it in here somewhere of picking these things up. But let's go to it first. So in one of my last pickup videos, some folks asked to see actually what my process was with picking things up at the thrifts, kind of maybe show a little bit of the hunt. So I got a little footage you guys will see of me actually checking out at the register. But I stopped in. It's a Friday, so it's not a tag day today. It just happened to be a day that I got off work a little bit early just to see what was going on. And I did find a couple of decent things. I don't think it was too bad what I paid for these. I got a Switch title. It's actually a sealed Switch title. I know this is a fitness game, fitness boxing. Never heard of it before, but I didn't think that was a bad grab for a sealed game. We'll see, you know, about it. $5.99. We got this one as well for $5.99. It's even got my little tag that they were holding it for me. We got Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. So here we have the Professor Layton game, and as you can see, it is complete inside. Has the little cart and all this extra paperwork and stuff as well too. But like I said, not too bad for $5.99. I think, like I said, that's going for like 25-ish or so. We'll see what we do with it. I'm not a massive collector of the DS, so we'll see what happens. This one right here, you see 37 games, and you know they're all loose discs, okay? Obviously, I'm not a big fan of loose discs, but in $44.99 on a non-tag day, it's a little bit salty. But I thought for what was in here, it was worth snatching it up still for that price, as long as all the games work. Nothing of the games look too scratched up or anything. When I first opened it up, see right on top there is one GameCube game in here, and it is Spirits and Spells. Now, I had to look this up after I asked them to hold this stuff for me while I looked around the rest of the store. And currently, as of today, this game, loose disc alone, is going for like $75. I think it's like 125 bucks if they would have had the case. But you see the games that are in here. There's a few decent games in here. Nothing flashy or anything. Some more modern stuff. You'll see these two right here, though. I checked those to make sure, actually all three of them, but these two, the discs looked great on them and everything. And you know, this game, loose disc for this game, I can get $15 to $20, and that one's like $20 to $25. I know for a fact. So Super Mario Galaxy, I'm not sure loose disc what that's going for, but it is a good game, so it could be desirable. We had some PlayStation 1 games in here, a few probably that are doubles of games, but others that I'll check out and see what's going on. It's like a mix between PS1 and PS2. Ape Escape, a good one there. Destruction Derby 2. Got a couple of other PlayStation 1 games. There's one of the discs of the Final Fantasy Anthology. Spyro game. Black. Excellent game. A lot of common kind of titles here. Cool Borders. This one right here was the other one that struck me that I was like, I'm pretty sure that there's a good X-Files game on the PlayStation 2, and this is the one. X-Files Resist and Serve. This one, I think this game, when I looked it up, was going for about $40 loose disc. So, that's one that's going to stay in the collection anyway. Definitely one that I want to check out, so we'll see. As far as what else is in here, it's just a couple common Rockstar games there, Bully, and a couple of the GTA games, and a Sims game, and a Tomb Raider game, but and then the rest of it's empty. But I don't think that was a bad deal, to be honest with you, for that price. It would have been better had it been on tag day, but would this have made it till next week on tag day for that? I don't know. Probably not, but that game alone should handle this. So pretty good grab. The last thing we had for this month's pickup was you guys saw this particular game on a CRT Saturday matinee. We have Image Fight right here. Fantastic little shooter. Had a lot of fun putting it up on the CRT Saturday matinee. I honestly didn't know what kind of game it was when I bought it. I had never heard of it myself before, so it was one of those games for the Nintendo that was new to me. So has fun with it, but picked this one up off of eBay. Well worth it to add to my collection. The last games, I had 5 original Nintendo games. When we went on that day where we went to the thrift and we got the Valentine's tag day sale, we happened to be up a little bit further into PA, kind of looping around, checking a few different things out, checking a few other thrift stores out. I didn't find anything out. The wife and daughter had some fun with. And there is a new retro game store, probably like 40 minutes from me. Add another one to the list, right? I've talked about how lucky I am to have so many of them around me. But so I stopped into this one because it wasn't far from where we were at. It was only like 10 minutes away. So went in there, and what a great store. I didn't catch any footage with it because I was just looking around myself, and then I saw they had an amazing Nintendo collection. I talked to the owner of the store. They had only just moved in here a couple of months ago into the space. They don't even have a sign on the outside of the building yet. He told me, I asked him, I said, is it okay if I come back at some point in the future and record, maybe talk to you guys a little bit about your store and everything? And he loved the idea of it. He said, hey, you know, I'm supposed to have a sign on the outside of the store here within a couple more weeks from now, so maybe come back after that and, you know, have at it. So we're gonna do that, but let me show you these games that I got from him. I was surprised by the amount of Nintendo games, original, that they had that I didn't have in my collection. Usually when I go into retro stores, I don't find much because now I'm at like 125 or so Nintendo games, so it's hard to find ones that I don't have, but they did have a few. Here's one that was very common that I probably should have already had, and I know I've seen it. We have the Chess Master. It's basically, I know this is one that I definitely played as a kid. I had this game, or my friend had this game, and I played it a lot at his house. I don't remember, but it's just basically a chess simulator. But that's probably one of the, that was probably the cheapest Nintendo game that I still did not have in my collection, so now I do. We've got Daydreamin' Davy. Now, Daydreamin' Davy is an interesting title. It is what it is when it says Daydreamin' Davy. So Davy is a school kid going to school. He gets picked on by bullies. He gets yelled at by his teacher. And he has different scenarios. Like the first stage, he gets picked on by a bully. A bully takes his pencil or something from him. So Davy daydreams that he's a knight, and he goes back through the level, and he has to find his way to the bully knight and defeat him and get his reward back. So that's what he does. And then the next stage, he's in the class, and the teacher's yelling at him, and he has to do something. But every stage is different, so it's kind of a neat little game. I've only played it a couple of times since I got it, but kind of cool. One of the many billiards games that are on the Nintendo, I think there's 4, maybe 3 or 4 at least. So Break Time, the National Pool Tour, one that I didn't have, had been looking for. This one's a little bit more on the mid-range pricing. I think it's around 20 bucks or so for that game. A good racing game, Galaxy 5000, kind of reminiscent of RC Pro-Am. Maybe not quite as good as that, but it's that kind of style graphically, and something that I want to spend a little bit more time with, but pretty fun. And then a great platformer that I had been looking for a while. And I got a good price on all these too. We got Felix the Cat right here. He had so many games. There was probably 15 more games that I didn't have. A couple of heavy hitters that he had in there. The store is called, I don't even know what it's called. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Had a brain fart, had too much to drink, I guess. I'll put it up here what it is, but we're gonna do an actual store tour of the place. It was in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I wanna say Retro Replay, but I know that's not the case, what it is. Retro Rewind, maybe? I'm not sure. We'll put it up here, but excellent store. Has about, I think it had about 6 to 8 free-to-play arcade games in there that you could just have some fun with. It had an amazing selection of N64, Super Nintendo. Had some really cool stuff behind the counter that was kind of rarities, like the white Nintendo cabinets, like the vintage white, and the big boxes that you see. Had a Super Mario Brothers 2 landline telephone. Had a sealed Atari Jaguar. Also had another nice Atari Jaguar system. Had some really cool stuff in there, so definitely a quality store. We'll do a tour of it for sure. But that's it for the pickups. I've rambled on long enough. Thank you guys. All you guys that hang on through these, I appreciate you every time watching them. And all of you guys that just pop in for a couple minutes and watch, I appreciate you watching too. And until next time, everybody, take care of yourself. Cheers.